Hi folks, welcome back to G for G, Games for Gamers. We are here on Monday after PvP Season 24 has wrapped up. And we're going to go ahead and jump into a video discussing some potential future meta teams. So, one of the things that we have now out in the wild is the ability for everybody on your team to potentially become phased. Now, if you have your entire team phased, essentially you're immune to just about everything other than magic, as you are sitting in another world. The phasers that we have in terms of heroes, we have Moonstone, we have Vision, we have Dr. Voodoo with an ISO, we have Baron Mordo when he comes out, and we also have, who am I forgetting that I just had? Vision. Oh, yes. Dr. Voodoo when he does the spirit possession spell. And that is actually something where he can sit phased for quite a long time, because he's got a bunch of things that will not pop him out of being phased. So I'm going to pop over to Dr. Voodoo and grab him. And basically what this team is designed to do is sit in a phased status for a long time, while allowing stamina damage to go out and chip damage from dots and everything. So I think this could be something workable in the future, especially now with the fact that there's a lot of different ways of phasing. There is the Witch Hammer, which will phase the agent. There is the Sinister Scepter, which is available in the Baron Mordo lockboxes. And there's a few things that can actually phase the agent, but there's not a lot. So here we have Havoc and Pesty. This is the old... this is actually kind of the Pesty killer team to a certain degree. You'll notice I'm running the experiment over here. So what I want to do is I'm going to get out a free action radiation transmitter. This is a setup for Moonstone. Apparently, it's not really considered stealthy, because this idiot with the infiltrator suit, the flight suit, I should say, attempted to counter it over there. So we are going to use the experiment as a quick action. We don't need to get the scroll out in round 1, because they have Pesty. And now I'm going to phase myself by attacking Havoc. And I will start assaulting their stamina by doing the signpost. So now my agent is phased. He does primed and ready, and does plasma spheres. And that's where the experiment is very good, because that is an AOE attack. He got drained 3 times. On Dr. Voodoo's turn, I am going to phase him by attempting to possess somebody. I am going to possess the enemy agent since he's up next. The enemy agent still gets a turn, but whiffs on it. Now, Moonstone is exhausted, so this is still actually getting listed as a quick action for some particular reason. Sure, I'll try it. No, it wasn't a quick action. So Moonstone is not phased right now because I accidentally believed what the deal was over there. But my agent is still phased. You will notice he's not listed as tangible. And I, from the protection of being phased, will use the signpost. Havoc loses a turn. This will not make Dr. Voodoo tangible. So there's some more dots. They're generalized over there now too, which is also very nice. We're not going to get counters. Alright, now, Moonstone is finally not... she's not exhausted, but she's generalized, so she's not going to gain an extra turn. But now she's phased. So now everybody on my team is phased. I'm still phased over here. So what I'm going to do is use the signpost one time to get that contagion counted down. And now this should send the contagion back over when I use the radiation transmitter. And it did. I am tangible at the moment, but I will use the experiment to continue attacking stamina. So there's plasma spheres again. But there's all that deep thought for him. And actually, thanks to my suit, I'm not exhausted. And I get another turn. Dr. Voodoo's turn is up. I'm going to Daniel Drum the entire enemy team, which will further assault their stamina. The agent apparently still has it, but he whiffs on Moonstone. So now on Moonstone's turn over here, she does have ISO Outbreak, but now she's going to start ramping up to her Big Bang. We're going to more Stamina Drain. I'm going to hit Havoc with the Sinister Scepter, which will give me an extra turn. And another Scroll of Runemeroth. So as you can see here, my team is pretty healthy at the moment. Dr. Voodoo can put out a free action Doom. And to keep my team healthy a little bit more, I'm going to Staff of Legba, which will exploit attrition. And now we've restored some health. So, if we look at her, she is not exhausted. We will gain another stack of Singularity. And because of the Gamma on the enemy team, watch this damage. That's reasonable. Probably would have been better if it was not a pesty team. But as you can see, there is some value to having the enemy team phased out like that. Because you can sit and just like recharge in the phase status and let, you know, things tick down a little bit. So in this particular case, we were assaulting both stamina and hit points. But we were not going excessive on attacking stamina. Like a heavy straining and draining team isn't worth it. They don't really have enough offense, but the ability to sit phased and watch all this like go off and tick in the distance is actually kind of fun. So this is actually a very anti-phase team. And before we go a little further, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So I actually messed up. I meant to get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And when I searched for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 on eBay, I kept getting hits because this was packaged with Forza 2. So I got the wrong version, but no big deal. So, we noticed that we have an Enchantress over there. So the first thing that I'm going to do is use the experiment. This is an incredibly scrubby team. Obviously, that had no business whatsoever being this high. I would have laughed seeing this team in PvP. But now I'm phased, and now I can put the Scroll of Runemeroth out for free. So now, they are not cleaning their debuffs. Enchantress goes Quick Reflexes. She is going to have some Magic Missile charges. And now you can see what the Deep Thought is doing to Enchantress. Every one of these Magic Missile charges are costing her stamina. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to exhaust the enemy team as a quick action. And now she is going to phase herself by attacking Doctor Strange. And now she's going to begin the ramp up to the Singularity. Enemy agent uses the antenna. And it misses Dr. Voodoo, who's actually not even phased yet. I am going to possess Doctor Strange, because he's up next. Unfortunately, Doctor Strange, for some reason, possession is just not really working the way that it should. So if we look at my agent, I am intangible. I'm going to use the signpost, which will not pop me out. However, the radiation transmitter will. And so will that. So I'm going to rest. Now, obviously, Enchantress is going to pass through the phasing simply because of the fact that she is using magic. But Moonstone is going to sit phased and just... Oh, black is void. Oh. That ruins the phasing right there. So that might actually be a good case for the scroll of Aknazak to make sure that that can't get removed. So, I'm going to put out the radiation, which is going to help Moonstone. That's going to be a free action. I'm going to use this as a quick action, which really Enchantress should be running out of stamina right about now. And am I... No, I am not intangible, so I can go ahead and phase myself off of that Sinister Scepter with pretty big damage. The Mandible missed because I'm phased. So she activates quick reflexes and has to recharge. So Moonstone is phased, so she has phase advantage on this because of her ISO. And watch this damage. Not bad. So there's an example of a phasey drain team over there. And I cannot believe that. I should have run a compare. That was amazing that that guy had that level with that kind of setup and everything. So another team for Moonstone that I wanted to bring out is Hyperion. But we're not going to go the drain style on this. Basically, we want to use some energy attacks. And want to change things up a little bit. Actually, we could continue to use this team. Hyperion can't be phased because he needs to be protecting. But what do I want to do to these guys? I'll take out the experiment. And I'm going to put in the Cosmic Shield. Because that's a free action. So, we'll take out the experiment. And go a few clicks over. Oh, yeah. Should have been trying this. Quick action. Huh, that's interesting. Should have worked that into the team there. That was really dumb. Totally forgot about that. Where are you, Cosmic Shield? There you are. Alright, so here's the deal. Both people are going to sit phased, and we're going to keep Hyperion buffed to tank while Moonstone begins her push to the Big Bang Theory. So let's take a look. I have experimented with this in the simulator, which is the simulator against Sin, and Hyperion got a shit wrecked because Sin was a blaster. So it wasn't really much that I could do with that. Hopefully JW should be happy as I get to experiment with these teams in PvP. But since the season's over, I don't care about messing with my gear and being lazy. So we have a Quicksilver and a Star-Lord. We have two Tacticians over here, so this is actually not bad. Oh, I have to give Molly's ISO over. Okay. So the first thing that we will do is we need to free action shield Hyperion. I am going to free action apply radiation to the enemy team. I'm going to signpost. And now I'm going to hit the enemy agent, who's a blaster, with the scepter, which will phase me. Oh my god, are you kidding? Ah, fucking how scrubby is that? Well, Moonstone will get to phase herself. Go for the agent here. I can just hit Hyperion. And now we will begin towards the singularity. This is actually a relatively good counter team because Quicksilver is, of course, stealthy. God. So she is getting whiffed on over there. Now, I should have the Elite ISO on him, which would be causing a drain for that, but I forgot to shift it over from Molly. And we're going to shield him again. We will drain. And now I finally get to phase my agent now that the Blackest Void is out. Alright, so now my agent is phased and Moonstone is phased. Hyperion's left is the only one exposed. We'll stack Moonstone up again. And let's see what the estimate... There we go. Look at this. That's what I was hoping for. So they managed to plow through. And let's run a little bit of a compare. And see what that was like. So my armory is considerably better. My health is way better. The attack is way better. Yeah, this was a nobody. A nobody that should have been up there. So there's an example of a potential meta moving forward. An entirely phased team that just chips away at both health and stamina. And then this team over here has good synergy because of the fact that Moonstone's quick action, because of Snappy Service, says that he does more damage on his melee attacks. These two, my agent and Moonstone, sit in a phased status, while Hyperion stays vulnerable, tanks everything, has the Elite ISO, hopefully heals himself from a lot of the stuff, gets the shield to protect himself, and we just allow Moonstone to build up towards her big bang. Of course, you can do this with some other people, like go totally phased with Vision, Doctor Strange with the ISO on his shield, so he phases himself. You can do it with Baron Mordo, so you definitely have some options there. I don't think you can run a completely phased team on defense. I think there are too many variables at stake. Moonstone will be likely the only one that would phase herself very easily, because she has, with Snappy Service, basically a 1 in 3 chance of phasing herself, using the level 2 out of the level 1, the level 2, and the level 9. Vision, however, has basically a 1 in 4 chance to switch over to the Infiltrator, and then a 1 in 3 chance of using the right ability that phases him. Dr. Voodoo, forget about it. His chance of actually doing the proper one that phases himself is very, very low. Doctor Strange with the ISO, it's a 1 in 4 chance, and you would want him to phase himself if you're trying to run all phased. Baron Mordo, we might have a better luck with him phasing himself over there, because if the AI runs him like the boss, within one of the first 2 rounds, he's going to phase himself. But on offense, running a completely phased team works except for Skrulls and Blackest Void, and in order to counter that, you may want to run the Skrull of Aknazak, which then means that your buffs are unremovable. So you could either run the Jade or the Emerald Prism and single target somebody, which is actually not a bad idea. I could take the Cosmic Shield out, Jade Prism myself as a free action, and then get phased, and I know it can't get removed, but then again that strands Moonstone and any of the other phasers. If I run the Scroll of Aknazak, it will be a quick action with Snappy Tactical, and it will cover the whole team, but then you lose a free action, and now you're managing a shit ton of quick actions. So, this is here to buff the damage of the Big Bang Theory. There is another item that actually applies 3 stacks of it, but all these actions will definitely unphase you, so you need to plan things out. What I like to do is use this first, and then get phased, so on and so forth. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it maybe sparks some ideas for future metas going forward. And yeah, hope everybody got what they wanted out of PvP Season 24. Take care.